No, if you guys have the nerve, and if you ever have the time, to go into that basement. I have never been in it.
Yeah?
Clara was in
I'll
it.
go in the basement.
I will tell you. You have to have boots. That's what I'm told.
Oh.
There is nothing.
Don't have boots.
It's a dirt thing, and there is supposedly water in there. There is frogs. There are snakes, and the whole thing is
Cut.
what it is.
I
That's
could-
what it is.
I'll get a cheap pair of galoshes, whatever. I don't care. I don't have like boots, but
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going in with snakes.
But
Sorry.
I have only seen pictures, and I saw pictures. I saw pictures that were taken 10 years ago of it, and there is no way.
yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. There's no way. The only entrance is through the bathroom. There's a door in the bathroom that goes directly
Another
downstairs.
crawl space.
That I have right here. And then
What's this?
this is the corner of the building,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how this is standing. To be honest with you, that's the rock foundation that goes into
Can we
the
get a light
basement.
down here?
We have that real nice one, yeah.
And I have a real problem of what is holding this building up.
Too.
Good days, bad days. Yeah, it's all what it is, and you can have a perfectly wonderful day. And if you talk to Clara, even if you talk to Flo, if you ever get the opportunity, they love it here. Everybody that has ever lived here loved it here. But the problem is you have to deal with the shift. And like Clara said, it can change in 5 minutes. It can be just absolutely great, feels good, everything is wonderful, you're having a picnic and doing all that stuff. Out of the clear blue, it will shift, and everybody will feel it, just as you did when you walked in that room upstairs. It just is there right now.
If you guys want to hold on
Alright,
a
we're
sec.
recording. We're
Well,
just
you
about
guys
to enter the
don't know, right?
Hinsdale House.
Roger Marsh. Why am I in the doghouse?
Waiting here for you for hours.
Well, that's how it goes.
Well, how it goes.
That's how it goes.
I'm away the 2 or 3 hours behind with my work.
But I called.
You're lucky if you get it done now.
I know, I heard you got it done.
Huh?
I heard you got it done.
I ain't got it all done.
Oh, well.
I got about 2 more hours to go.
What's the cat's name?
That's Butch.
Butch. Hi, Butch.
That's Butch.
Roger, you want to introduce your staff?
Yeah, on camera right here, this is Matt. He's my assistant director.
Matt, nice to meet you.
My hands
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Behind him, this is Greg. He's our gaffer.
Nice to meet you.
This is Phil, Haddad. He's going to be our set manager. And behind him right here is Sean Galligan. Sean is our production manager.
Okay. It's nice to see you.
Good to meet you, Flo.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, yeah, it's
That's a
been
bunch of good looking guys.
35 years since he's been in here.
35 years, right. Wow. It's been a long time.
Joe's behind you.
Joe's behind.
Oh, there's
Joe.
Joe.
There's Joe.
Have to do it all again.
Joe. Roger Marsh.
She hogging the camera again?
Joe, Roger Marsh.
Hi,
Nice to meet you,
Roger.
sir.
How are you?
I'd like to introduce you to my staff.
And that's part of the whole thing. That's part of the plan down the road that Roger, I think, is involved with, and several other, the Tanis Foundation, and Dr. Tim Barth out at TCU in Texas. We are really trying to acquire this land when Flo and Joe, it's time for them to move and go, and to really establish the first worldwide paranormal research center built on an active site. There are none in the world. None in the world. We have plans for a library, a lecture center. We'll have lodging for the scientific teams that come in so they can actually stay here. The equipment to measure the gravitational flux, the electromagnetic change, atmospheric conditions, all those things that may contribute to a manifestation. And when it does happen, we would have all that backup knowledge to try to understand what is necessary for a manifestation to become our reality. And that's the key. And that's where we're going. I've been working on this for 12 years and it has always fallen short. But this time, everybody seems to be coming in at the right time. And maybe we have all the right people in place, and this will be the time that it will happen.
It's a good time in science. They're looking at the change too. Right?
And the change, yes. And that's what this
What
is all
happens
about.
next?
This is what this is all about. Our scientific equipment now is sophisticated enough to measure these things that we only used to tell stories about. And now we're able to capture them, as well as you gentlemen know. I mean, you catch this stuff. But then there are, and I'm not gonna go naming things, but then there are those shows that really give us the black eye, that come in and say, okay, this is what you got, and they walk away, and people still are stuck with what they've got, and they wonder what the heck happened. And that's not the purpose of this. This is the real thing. This is what you do. You try to understand what it is, and then you try to deal with it. And there's the crux of the whole thing. Hello, my name is Michael Rambacher. We're at the famous or infamous Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. I'm just going to give you a little bit of history into the history of the house, the land, and the area. We're going to go back to 1737. At that point, the Native Americans, the Indians, it was the Seneca in this area, they were part of the Iroquois Confederation, which comprised all of the tribes of western New York, and ultimately there were 7. The Senecas were the furthest west of the Confederation. In 1775, they made their big proclamation. They sent a letter to Mr. Hamilton at the Continental Congress in Philadelphia, and they informed everybody there that if the country were formed as the United States of America, they would actively be against the formation of the country. So there we set the sides. They did work with the British during the Revolutionary War, and one of their main camps was this area, and the other one was up on the Niagara Peninsula near Fort Niagara. Those were strongholds, and they remained strong actually during the Revolutionary War. To bring us up a little bit to date with that, there was a village set here in 1737, and it was actually the Indians that cleared Main Street of Hinsdale of all the trees. It was a perfect little rise. It was absolutely perfect. They had fishing, they had flat land for farms, they had the mountains here for the wild game. It was a perfect place for a village. So they set that up, and over the years, the biggest population at one time was about 1,200 people. They did deal with agriculture, and they did deal with farming, and they did what they needed to do.
Ye! Hold! UFO! Store!